If you like modern Torah, subscribe and leave a review. I'd really appreciate it. Every year, there's one magical day where I wake up in the morning and suddenly, the world feels totally different. This year, it was September 12th, a Saturday. The temperature dropped overnight. That miserable stickiness melted away, and even the sun seemed to strike a new angle, lighting up the still green leaves so that for just a moment, they looked golden, hinting at the new season to come. Our tradition teaches that a season is set for everything, and Sukkot ushers in our people's season of joy when we're commanded to gather and be merry. I love Sukkot. It's definitely my favorite Jewish holiday. But personally, I've never felt the need for a commandment to gather and be merry, because fall has always been my personal season of joy, and only partially because of Judaism. Due to a combination of planning, luck, and coincidence, every year my life is full of reasons to celebrate, from Labor Day through to the end of the calendar year. Sure, there's the litany of Jewish holidays that occur throughout the fall, but fall also brings my father's birthday, my wedding anniversary, and Thanksgiving. Weekends are devoted to long Sunday drives through the New England countryside, looking at leaves and visiting orchards for hand-picked apples and fresh cider. And fall nights bring perfect temperatures for cozy sweaters and hanging outdoors with friends. Also, I love school supplies, and fall means school supplies. Ultimately, what I love most about Sukkot is how it simply shakes up the routine of Jewish life. Abraham Joshua Heschel, the great 20th century Jewish scholar, said life is routine, and routine is resistance to the wonder. The Talmud teaches that the divine presence rests upon people neither through gloom, nor through sloth, nor through frivolity, nor through levity, nor through talk, nor through idle chatter, save through a matter of joy and connection with a mitzvah. Whether they're connected to a mitzvah or not, I've always found more joy in small moments that help me connect with a sense of awe and wonder than I do in big spectacles. Even in this new normal, little moments of awe and wonder still exist if we're open enough to recognize them. Replete is the world with sublime and marvelous secrets, said the Baal Shem Tov. But a small hand held against the eye hides it all. 3 years ago, my wife and I celebrated our Ufruf during Sukkot. And ever since, sitting in a sukkah has taken me back to that moment. Celebrating with dozens of people crammed into our synagogue sukkah on a gorgeous fall day, a scene that now seems impossible, as an overwhelming abundance of caution has changed the way we celebrate. And I struggle to remember what it feels like to be filled with an overwhelming abundance of joy and feel the spark of divine presence. There's a tradition in many Jewish communities of reading Kohelet, the book of Ecclesiastes, either during Sukkot or on Shmini Atzeret, one of the holidays immediately after Sukkot. In the past, it's always felt odd to me to match such an apathetic book whose opening verses include the words, utter futility, all is futile, with a holiday described as our people's time of joy. But this year, for the first time, I find myself thankful for the obligation to be joyful, and I appreciate the pairing of Kohelet and Sukkot more than ever. The Gemara actually tells a story of how the sages debated whether Kohelet should be declared apocryphal, as the book continuously seems to contradict itself and was liable to confuse future readers. I'm glad they didn't. There's a rawness to Kohelet that feels so compelling right now, like a late-night conversation with a stranger whose perspective totally alters your worldview, if only for the night. So this year, for Sukkot 5781, a season when we're commanded to rejoice in a world that doesn't feel particularly joyful, I'll take my cue from Kohelet and find my joy in the small things in life. Thus I realized that the only worthwhile thing there is for people to do is to enjoy themselves and do what is good in their lifetime, and that whenever a person does eat and drink and get enjoyment out of all of their wealth, it is a gift of God. Chag Sameach and Shabbat Shalom. Modern Torah is a production of Not a Rabbi Media. For more information about this or any of our other podcasts, visit notarabbi.media.